Hey everyone, it's Grava with another tutorial video. And today's video, I want to talk a little bit, excuse me, about point slope form that we talked about in class, just to kind of give you another way to look at it. So at the top, I'm starting with 3 steps to write point slope form equations, so you can read through those. So we write down the formula, which this is our formula right over here. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1, where m is the slope, the rise over the run, and x sub 1 comma y sub 1 is a point on the line. And it can be any point. Specifically, we'll be looking at you identifying the point from an equation. You could also write your own equations as well. So we're going to talk about identifying the slope and the point on the line from the formula, and then or a graph, I guess we can look at it that way, and then plugging those values and the slope into the formula. Okay, so here's my example. So we have y plus 2 equals 1/3 times the quantity x minus 4. And so from here, I'm going to do some annotating with some color. So my slope I'm going to use is green. And then my point, I'll use orange for x's, and I'll use purple for y's, just to help differentiate so you know what's coming from where. Some annotation is always good. So in my equation, here is my slope, my 1/3, and I can always tell it's that number right in front of the parentheses. Sometimes it's a fraction, sometimes it's a whole number. It can be positive or negative. My x value is always going to be over here, and my y value is going to be over here. All right, so for my equation, my slope is 1/3. And then a point on this line from this equation is going to be 4 comma negative 2. And so let's talk about why that is what it is. So when I'm looking at point slope, this is x minus 4. And in the formula, it's x minus x sub 1. So whatever this value is going to be my x coordinate. And so when you're thinking about it, you can kind of look at it and say, well, this is minus 4, so I want the opposite of that, which is plus 4. That's kind of a little shortcut way to think about it. Okay, so it's 4 comma, this is y plus 2, but my formula says y minus y sub 1. So that's sort of like saying y plus 2. Another way I could write that is the same thing as saying y minus, so it looks like the formula, negative 2. So negative 2 would be my y coordinate for this one. Okay, so my slope is 1/3 and my point is 4 comma negative 2. So now you can pause the video, take a look at the next one, and you can try to identify the slope and the point. Then I'll come back and show you how it works and then give you a picture of what each graph looks like. Okay, so you tried that and I hope you're able to figure it out. So let's take a look. So my slope is going to be negative 2/7. And then my x coordinate point I'm going to find right here. My y coordinate point right here. So we're looking at like the opposite sign. So my point's always going to put in parentheses because they're coordinate pairs. So since that says plus 3, we're going to say it's a negative 3 for the x coordinate. And then my y coordinate says y minus 1, so it's going to be positive 1. We use a purple for that one. And so there's my coordinate. Let's talk a little bit about what the graphs look like. So I've got some graphs pre-made right here for you. So here is this first one. Get that out of the way. There we go. Okay. So what that looks like is the point 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. That point's on my line. And my slope is 1/3, so that means I can rise 1 and run 3, or I can drop 1 and go 3 in the negative to the left. So down 1 and left 1, 2, 3. There's another point. Down 1, left 1, 2, 3. There's another point. So I'll see if we can draw on this graph. Sure enough, it'll let us. Okay. And so then there's my slope, rise of 1, run of 3. Okay, so let's look. I've got another picture here. Let me go pull that from my other screen. And that's not the one I wanted. Hold on. Okay, now it says it's copied. There we go. That's what we wanted to look at because the other one was just the same one we looked at before. Okay, so this one we know that the point 3 or negative 3 comma 1 is on my line. So negative 1, 2, 3, up 1, That point's on my line. It crosses at grid lines. My slope is -2/7, so -2, 1, 2, and to the right, +7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and sure enough, there's another point. So I can draw my slope triangle. That one looks a little better. So -2 and 7. And so there's my slope labeled. So there's kind of a visual to kind of go with that, okay? All right, we'll look real quickly at some slope equations, some more on the graph. So here are two more I just came up with and put on the graph. So my point here for this example would be at 2, 4. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our rise and run is 2/3. So rise of 2, run to the right of 3. Boom, there's another point. And then we can draw on our slope triangles. 2/3, there's our slope. And then here's our point of 2, 4. And then we could do the same thing with this one as well. Okay, so you can try this one. Pause the video for a second if you want to sketch a graph, and then I'll show you where that point and the slope are. Okay, so let's take a look. Our point is at 2, -1. So 2 to the right, -1 down. There's our point. 2, -1. Okay, and my slope is -3, which is like saying -3/1. I can make any whole number into a slope, into a fraction by putting it over 1. So it'd be down 3, right 1, or up 1, 2, 3, left 1. We'll use green to draw this. Those are supposed to be round dots, so I apologize for that. So +3 that way, -1 that way, or -3 and +1 would work as well. Hope this helped you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.